Hey guys, I'm S. Dan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the weird channel. I thought I was worried. I thought that this little kind of introducing you all to this series could go sideways. Like, you guys would be really offended that we were doing like a very unethical, horrible zoo for these digital animals. But you guys are just as weird and as morbid as I am. So I guess we're just going to kind of roll with it here. This is your alligator feeding pen. So very, very safe. Passes all inspections, permits, and regulations. As passed by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Association. But this, no, I figure I actually imagine this park like being somewhere in South Carolina. I don't know why that just kind of popped into my head when I was building this, but I think this would be like a really janky South Carolina roadside zoo. And yeah, we are going to have alligators, and we're going to have a crocodile named Paul. He is in there with them, and you will get to feed them, watch them, get dangerously close to them while the caretaker takes a smoke break. And we're just going to, roll on here. And this was just so much fun. I've added so much like little weird clutter. Like eventually you'll see like an old toilet seat out here. I've filled it with a bunch of like tractor tires. There is just, there's a lot going on with this little build. And you guys, like a couple of you said, like we need to do alligators, but there are so many fun ideas out there. People were saying we need like a possum pet opossum cage. You guys were saying we need, what was another one I was thinking about that would be really, really fun? One idea that I really, really liked was hold a baby bear cub, but like the mom is there as well, like in the pen. So we could do that. We could do some kind of we got to do something with tigers, something with a lion. Somebody said we should do a really narrow cheetah enclosure. You guys are getting pretty sick with this. But this is just one of those weird things that popped into my head a long while ago. Like I said in the first episode, this was like, I was really heavy into Fallout 76. And if you guys haven't given that a chance in a while, I highly suggest jumping in if you like the survival, base building, just like survival craft game, but set in the Fallout world. And when I was in the middle of doing that, I was still playing Planet Zoo pretty regularly. And that's just kind of what I jumped over and did. I was like, what if I made like a Fallout zoo? Like everything is just basically they put back together what they could, like with the pieces that they've had, and they probably shouldn't have even done this, but they have, and they've managed to capture some of these animals, and here we are. We are at Spit Creek. And I just, like I said, this is just something really, really goofy and fun that we've kind of stumbled upon again after a year. And the Planet Coaster 2 news is really, really slow right now. Not a whole lot going on that front. And I was like, really, I actually jumped into Suyana for a while too. That's more one of my, one of my more serious projects. My buddy Bold, she made me just a killer tiger exhibit. I'll have to do a review of that park, like as the zoo sits as of February 25. She did me a killer tiger exhibit, and also she built Jaguar Cafe, if you remember some of the older videos on that park. So she helped me a lot with that. Remnant helped me with the parking lot. Carlos G72 helped me with like an Amani, like a nature trail. If you get a chance, I highly suggest go back and check out some of those old videos. I have a playlist on the channel. It's called Suyana Zoo, and there are hours and hours of footage tied in with that zoo. I'd hate to know how many hundreds of hours we have in that, but that's on there for you to check out. And it's just, I've never stopped loving the art style of Planet Zoo. No matter what we get into with Planet Coaster 2 and the direction that they've went on that, it is going to me personally and visually, it's going to be tough to top Planet Zoo. I mean, unless we get a Planet Zoo 2. But, you know, it's just the way, and, you know, arguably, yes, they've had 6 years to develop this game. So Planet Zoo has really, really come into its own. It set out to do, you know, so much of what they wanted it to do. And I think us and you guys as creators have totally that's what makes me excited about Planet Zoo 2 if it ever happens, is, you know, them taking all the lessons that they've learned from this. You know, that's another thing that we've not had a conversation about, how hard it's going to be to follow up Planet Zoo. I mean, if you look almost any given night, consistently 2,000 to 5,000 active players. But Planet Zoo is absolutely kicking the pants off of Planet Coaster 2. I mean, as far as active player count goes, if you look on the Steam database, and that's not even count, Steam database doesn't show you console players that are in the mix now that may still be out there coming home from work every evening or getting out of class and coming home and playing Planet Zoo. It's just a wonderful, wonderful title, and it was fun to really get back in it, you know, with this little project and spend, you know, a good probably hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. I know that to some of you that you're like, oh, I spend like 5 hours on the weekends in this, 6 hours. But for me, an hour and a half is a long time in a game that I haven't really played consistently in 6 or 7 months. And it just felt good. The foliage is just absolutely top notch in this game. The lighting package, the way the water reflects, you know, like the way the shadows work, reflecting off the water, and the animal animations. You know, one could even argue the guest fluidity looks a lot better than Planet Coaster 2. But, you know, I like we've mentioned, I would assume it's a different engine version, you know, all Cobra and in-house. If you guys don't know, Frontier doesn't use like they have their own proprietary engine. They don't use Unreal, Unity, nothing like that. What Frontier uses to build their games is called Cobra engine. And, you know, they have fine-tuned it really, really well for this zoo management title. And but you know, there's a lot out there that I think they can improve on. I think with a Planet Zoo 2 100% has to have some form of aquatic enclosure. And who knows, maybe one day that will be Planet Zoo fans' water parks. Because if you don't know, if you weren't around for the early Planet Coaster days, people wanted water parks. That was the big thing. That's what was, you know, a lot of people built fake water parks, and that was just a feature we always wanted and we never got, via, you know, a la birds and aquatic life in Planet Zoo. So it's a shame, but I think with a Planet Zoo 2, those have to come. By far the two biggest requests of like any request ever in gaming is for aquatic animals, build your own aquarium, and actual, you know, flying birds, working flying birds in Planet Zoo. Do I think that's going to happen now? No. I think too much of the resources in the development team have moved on to other titles and other projects, so I don't really ever see something that big happening. But in a sequel, absolutely, they'll have to. But anyways, guys, I know I'm probably boring you here talking about Cobra Engine and Frontier and all of their weirdness. So let's jump into the real time. I'll introduce you to the alligators and Paul. Paul is the crocodile, and I'll show you around the pond a little bit and just kind of see what you guys think. So hold tight 1 second. All right, guys, here are the the unfortunate gators and Paul. That's a big boy. But yeah, this is the little unfortunate gator pond. We've got a little sign out here. Danger, do not feed, tease, or approach any wild alligators. Here is your, like I said, very safe, very up to code feeding platform. No issues with this at all. We've got some dilapidated boats out there. We've got some barrels. We have a bunch of tires. We've got a canoe that I don't know how they would get to now. I told you I had a little toilet out here. But this is, yeah, this, look, they're waiting for you guys. They are waiting for some food, particularly Paul. But yeah, this is the idea. And I know Bold is probably laughing hysterically at this right now and probably feels bad for these poor gators. But, you know, they got plenty of water. They got, you know, they're taken care of as best as possible. Oh, Lord, that might be a good screenshot right there. I might have to, dude, Paul right there. That might be a good screenshot. Yeah, hold on. Let me get rid of this menu here. There we go. Got a little shot of Paul. Might have to tool that around a little bit, but that's pretty cool. Look how much larger he is than those American alligators. That is crazy. But yeah, this is what we got going on, guys. This is Spit Creek. I will take you back to the entrance if you didn't catch that first episode. And like I said, you guys have so many fun ideas coming with this. We are so weird and degenerate. We got the little bridge that goes across to Bold's restaurant. No drowning. I genuinely chuckle every time I load into this map and see that sign. We've got our little pigs right here, which I had tigers in here at one point. We've got, of course, we have random chickens roaming around. Got a couple roosters. giving us the eyeball. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know, like, what should be the alligator pit's neighbor. We need something right here. We could do, I don't know, like we could do something that's really like unsafe for giraffes. We could do like a rhino walkthrough. There's so many weird things you could do, but the bad part is, it's like some of the stuff is real. Like, you know, I know we're just, you know, kind of make believe here and all this, but some of the stuff that you'll see in Spit Creek is terribly realistic. Like, there are places, like, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are a lot of mom and pop zoos, and, you know, particularly the ones, I don't mind supporting ones that are more so rehabilitation centers. Like, you know how some people will set up farms or preserves that wildlife agencies, the animals wouldn't survive out in the wild. And, you know, sometimes people set up farms, they set up like private little zoos that help rehabilitate animals. But then, you know, you have some, like I'd mentioned, via Tiger King and the weird little guy down in South Carolina with like the 4 or 5 wives, that they keep actual like animals. So maybe if it makes us feel a little better, maybe we'll say that Spit Creek, as for all of its flaws, like maybe has a, they don't say no to sheriff's departments, wildlife resource agencies, and they take whatever they can. Like maybe all of these alligators they brought in were like near residential areas, or they got them at a backyard pools, and Spit Creek just takes them. No questions asked. You bring them, we take them. So maybe we can put that kind of spin on it, because I really don't want to condone, like even in the digital, just make-believe Planet Zoo world, I don't want to condone like the mistreatment of animals. But, you know, I know this is all in good fun and just a video game, but I still think it'd be like better to put like a rehabilitation spin on this. It would make me feel better building this weird stuff. ZHS Plays, he gave me a shout out. He's like, dude, your dilapidated zoos look awesome. He's like, you're trying to make it look crappy and it looks awesome. So big shout out to Z. I was, that was really funny to see that comment that, you know, even though what we're trying to do here, making it as janky and nasty as possible, but it's still kind of coming out cool. That's always good to know. But yeah, anyways, this is just a weird little thing we're doing, guys. I don't know how serious we're going to take this or how far we're going to take it, but definitely keep throwing out ideas and I will try to get to as many as I can. And yep, like I said, I'm just having fun with this. It's goofy. It's weird. I know it's probably not what you guys are here for, but you know, it helps me like with a creative output and making you guys chuckle. So anyways, I'm Stan Wolf, and I'll catch you in the next weird episode of Spit Creek. See you guys.